It's the 10th of September. This is the Weekly Spread.
Welcome everybody to a new episode of the Weekly Spread. I'm Jason, this is Rick.
Hey guys, how are we?
Good, we have a big week to talk about this week, Rick. There's been a lot of interesting news that's come out, and we're going to talk about the stories that we found interesting throughout the week. So let's not muck around, Mr. Ricardo.
Let's get straight into
movies. All right, Rick, wow, there's been some monumental news this week.
There's a lot of news on movies.
Absolutely, and I think the biggest news that I want to talk about is in the world of, guess what? Star Wars.
Star Wars.
But it was big news this week, Rick.
No,
and the big news is that the director of Episode 9, Colin Trevorrow, has been let go by Lucasfilm. They're claiming in a statement it's been a mutual decision, but it's very clear that Lucasfilm has yet again got rid of a director. Now, Colin Trevorrow, you may or may not know, was the director of Jurassic World, which was a huge hit a couple of years ago, but had also directed a smaller film last year called The Book of Henry, which was lambasted. It had some of the lowest ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. It currently rates around a 22%. And I think Star Wars, especially under Kathleen Kennedy's reign, they've been very tough on their directors. If you can remember, Rick, it wasn't that long ago
they got rid of
since the directors of the Han Solo movie, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, were let go in 4 months into filming. They replaced him and Ron Howard.
What are they doing? What's going on down there?
Look, I think their agenda is to try to make the best film possible, and creators and directors don't have the power that they used to there. Even Colin Trevorrow, when asked about when he joined Star Wars Episode 9, he basically said that he's not really a director in a traditional sense. He's just a collaborator with a whole group of people. So it is very much, they treat their directors in some ways like TV directors, replace them all the time. So it is very, very interesting, because this means, okay, they had one director for Star Wars Episode 7. Rogue One had nothing but problems. They brought on a director which they didn't give credit to support Gareth Evans, the other director of Rogue One. They brought someone in to help him with that. They've then obviously, like we just said, replaced the directors of Han Solo. Rian Johnson seems to have gotten through clean with his Episode 8, which comes out this year. But now they replaced... So there's going to be obviously a lot of speculation who will replace him. And I certainly, if I was a director in Hollywood of anyone of note, I don't know if I'd be wanting to jump into a franchise that you don't really have control of.
Clearly, no, you don't have any control over it. I mean, yeah.
So huge news in the world of Star Wars. I mean, look, at the end of the day, as a Star Wars film fan, Rick, I just want to see a good film. So if that means they're going to swap out directors here, there and everywhere, frankly, I don't care.
But is that going to delay?
No.
Well, see what I mean? It's going to be rushed.
No. Well, if you think about it, was it better for them to go with Colin Trevorrow and get halfway through filming like they did in Han Solo and then
pull out? Yeah.
Or is it better to replace him now?
I suppose cut him off straight away.
Yeah.
And then
Well, they start shooting in January.
Okay.
So they've got a little bit of time to announce a new director. But there you go. Let's move on to the next story, Rick. The next story is actually about the Queen biopic.
Oh, nice! Yeah, I saw it.
Yes, they're making a movie about the group Queen, the massive power band from the 70s and 80s, and they've had a lot of controversy locking people down for the role. Okay. Originally, you had people like Sacha Baron Cohen, who was cast as Freddie Mercury.
Oh, yeah,
you had
kind of
Ben
seemed to it.
Whishaw. He played Q in the new Bond films. You've had directors such as David Fincher involved and then pulled out. I believe the rumour is out there, Rick, that Queen have been very difficult to deal with the type of script that they want. Okay. But they've gotten it right now, and they've cast Rami Malek. Now, Rami Malek is in that show at the moment, the robot show. What's have I got it? I'm confused. It's not iRobot. Everybody knows Rami Malek out there. I'm going to think of it halfway through the show and throw it back. But obviously, here's a picture of who we're talking about. Obviously, it's early in the morning here, and I'm still not awake. But nevertheless, there was a photo that's come out of Rami Malek performing, as you can see on screen right now, as Freddie Mercury. And I tell you what,
he looks spot on. Yeah, he does.
So I'll be very interested to see the footage of this. I'll be very interested too to see how they're going to handle the music. I mean, Freddie Mercury is famously known as having 4 octaves. So how is someone going to reenact his voice, or are they going to do a voiceover?
Well, he's not a singer, this Raimi.
No, he's an actor.
He's an actor, so good point. How are they going to portray him as he's a singer? That's the main character is a lead singer.
So it'll be very interesting footage, but I think they've really they've got the right person in the role.
They got the look,
and that picture looks absolutely fantastic.
They got the look down, but we'll see how the rest of it goes.
I can't wait to see it, to be honest with you. So let's move on to my last story of the week. Really is about what's coming out at the cinemas this week, and we have a cracker of a movie coming out this weekend in cinemas in Australia, and that movie is It. Yes, that movie about that creepy clown and a bunch of kids. And look, critics have already seen it globally, and the reports are huge. Currently, it's sitting at a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics' consensus generally that it's well acted, it's fiendishly frightening, it's emotionally affecting, it's all the ingredients that you want out of a Stephen King classic horror film. So I am going to see this tomorrow night, Rick, and certainly I love horror films, but I reckon this one I'm going to be gripping the arms.
I've heard that it is really a phenomenal movie and it's very, very scary.
Yeah. So look, let's have a clip, guys, of It.
Hiya, Georgie. What a nice boat. Do you want it back?
Yes, please.
You look like a nice boy.
Wow. How good was that?
That little kid, man, you'll float too. Nah, man, that does.
And Pennywise looks awesome. He looks amazing.
I mean, he really does.
Looks badass and scary.
Look, if you're looking for something to see this weekend, go check out It.
Definitely.
It looks phenomenal. And I'll give you my report next week on what I thought of it. That's all I have for this week.
Awesome, Jace.
With movies,
Sounds good. Let's go to streaming. All right, guys, let's get into streaming. Let's roll into another Stephen King novel-based show. This was actually a movie, but they've released a TV series on Netflix. They released season 1 of The Mist. Very cool, man. Very cool show.
Yeah.
I've just started watching the first 2 episodes. Absolutely love it. I know your wife.
She watched the whole season.
Whole season.
She binge watched the hell out of it, and she
loves it. Yeah. It's a great show. So it's definitely one of my recommendations if you've got Netflix. So basically, it's after an eerie mist that rolls into a small town, and the residents must battle this mysterious mist and its threats.
Yeah.
Very, very cool show. So definitely get on that. That's on Netflix, season 1 of The Mist.
Fantastic. Excellent.
All right, now on to Stan. This just came on Stan. This movie was released last year. 2016. It's written and directed by Kevin Smith. So I'm like, Kevin Smith movie, it's got to be good. I'm thinking,
I'm a big fan of Kevin Smith.
Yeah, who isn't a fan of Kevin Smith? It actually stars Kevin Smith's daughter, Harley Quinn Smith. It's called Yoga Hose.
Yoga Hoses?
Yoga Hoses, sorry.
Wow.
It's more of a comedy horror. First going into it, I'm thinking, this is a great movie. But when I watched it, oh my God, it was really, really fucking bad. It's probably more based around younger kids, I'd say. I would say
Look,
if you're a younger kid.
It's definitely a film made for 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, really definitely.
Is. You can tell he's taken elements from Gremlins, from classic 80s horror films.
It's got everything in it.
Bit of Clerks, bit of this, bit of that.
He's just thrown it all together, put it in a blender, and this is the movie that he's made.
I mean, it's a bit out there, there's no doubt about it. I mean, look, all I say is, it was clearly a failed experiment.
Yeah.
But, at least he tried to do something different, I suppose.
That's it. So, look, if you...
So are we recommending this, or are we telling them to watch out for it?
Just be careful going into it. Don't go in the back of your mind going, Kevin Smith, don't think of Mallrats and all the other great movies that he's made. Just go into it. I
have a feeling, because Kevin Smith is a big stoner. smokes a lot of pot.
Oh, if you're
So
a
I think
stoner,
this is made
movie
for
would.
you.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's a stoner movie.
Yeah, because the little villains. I won't go too much into it, but the little villains. If you're a stoner, you'll buzz out.
You know
with
what?
those.
Let's let him have a look.
You
at
know
the
what?
clip.
Yeah, let's throw to a clip and see what you guys think.
The yoga way. Yoga way? The yoga way. Okay, warrior one. Hold it, Mackenzie, hold it. Okay. Warrior two, back to back. Das Fräulein. Now on warrior three, we yoga the shit out of these bratwurst bitches, okay? Okay. Warrior three. Das unschleidig Boliden. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
There you go. I'll leave that up to you guys
Little
and
German
see what you
sausage
do. The bratwursts. So
Bratwurst, that's
the
what it
bratwursts.
No, the Bratsies.
Bratsies, the
That's what I call
Bratsies.
them.
So there you go, guys. We'll leave that up to you. That's on Stan. Now, on Foxtel, they have a cult crime week on Foxtel this week.
Okay, now you're talking
This
my
is
language.
really, really cool. From 8:35 p.m. Monday to Friday on the Fox Classic channel. It's part of the entertainment pack. They're going to be streaming some great movies through the week, including Taxi Driver, Cold Blood, Someone to Watch Over Me, The Untouchables, and the all-time classic Scarface.
Wow.
So if you're into those cult crime movies,
am I what?
oh, get on it.
I'll be
Definitely
definitely
get
watching
on
some of
that.
those.
So remember, it's Monday to Friday, 8:35 on the entertainment pack on the Fox Classic channel.
Wow, that's a good recommendation there, Rick.
Definitely get on that, guys. And that's
Fantastic.
it for
That's it for streaming.
Yeah.
I think it's time to talk gaming. All right, guys, in gaming, we've got some news now. This is more of a news about Xbox and some of the accessories. Xbox has decided now, part of their console, they're going to introduce a keyboard and mouse element.
Keyboard and mouse.
Which is kind of interesting. Consoles have flirted with this in the past, but the reason they've decided to bring in keyboard and a mouse is for gaming, is to make the gaming experience closer to what it's like playing on a PC.
On a PC.
Now, a lot of the fans are a little bit up in arms in this, based upon their reasoning is that when you are good on a keyboard and mouse, if you're playing a first-person shooter, to compete against someone with a controller, I think you would destroy him every time, because the reaction time with a keyboard and mouse, I've found in my experience over the years, is far better than using a console controller. So it's an interesting way, it's an interesting mindset Xbox is going in to try to merge their Xbox platform and their Windows gaming platform and try to bring those two together. So that is something really interesting, and I'll be fascinated to hear what the reaction will be when they do announce a release date.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Now, big news of the week in gaming has to be the release of Destiny 2. It's an online multiplayer first-person shooter video game developed by the ever-amazing Bungie developers, and it's been published by Activision. It was released on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One on September 6th.
Not long ago.
And it won't be long before a PC Microsoft version will be out in October 24th.
Nice.
Have a look at some of this footage, guys.
Wow.
Fast, furious,
Nice.
lot of action, mate. This is
good.
going to be a hugely popular game, and I probably won't see my son for about a month because I assume he's just going to hunker down and thrash this. So
I'm sure he
absolutely
will, mate.
fantastic. I'll have to bust through his
That looks
room
good,
and
mate. Looks
play
good.
a few games myself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the last story I want to talk about this week is actually something quite political, but I thought hilarious. Now, we all know here in Australia, we're being involved in the plebiscite.
Yes.
That means they've now decided that we're going to be sent a postal vote to decide whether there's same-sex marriage.
Ridiculous.
Now, somebody with a little bit of wicked sense of humour has designed a game around that. So basically players take a role of an envelope who must job as many obstacles such as rocks, Tony Abbott, Malcolm Turnbull and some Aussie friends, and hopefully get his postal vote through.
That's
I had a
awesome.
bit of a play with it, and I must admit...
What's it on? On just what? On
It's on PC.
Oh, it's on PC.
You
Oh,
get
the
it for
PC.
nothing. You
Oh,
get it for
nice.
nothing.
Okay.
It's a funny little game, and it is kind of poking fun at the ridiculousness
It
of
is.
having to go through this postal vote
It
in
is.
the first place.
It's a joke.
Look, you know, without getting too political, me, myself, this should have been legal years ago. There shouldn't even be a postal
That's
vote.
right.
If same-sex couple want to get married, go get married, mate. Go enjoy, knock yourself out.
Why are we always the last ones? Like, everyone else gets behind it. Just get behind it and let them do what they want to do.
In many
That's
ways,
it.
this country's very progressive, but in many ways, we're very behind.
Just a
too.
joke.
So, either way,
Anyway.
go check out
Although
a
that's
little
pretty cool.
game called Going Postal.
Going
Mate,
postal.
That's
Nice.
all I have in gaming this week.
Nice.
I think we've got to talk music.
All right, guys, let's get straight into music. Now, we've got a bit of... Adele is back. If you've been following our weekly spreads, we've done a piece on Adele.
Deservedly so.
The 29-year-old singer has been approached by film bosses to star as Nancy in the 1968 classic remake of Oliver.
Brilliant casting.
Which I think would be fantastic
in that role.
as that. It's good to see that she wants to go into that. So I heard that she wants to stop touring and doing all that, and I think she wants to focus on, you know, a different path with her family and everything else. But this is a great opportunity for her. I think it would be great to see.
You know, with Adele, some of her music I love and some of it I don't, but her personality as a human being, I could definitely see her making
She would,
transition to
she
film.
would absolutely shine in this position
Yeah.
as Nancy. So it definitely we'll
I
keep you
can't
up
wait
to
to
date
check
with
out
that.
some footage of that.
Yeah. Drake news. All right, guys, if you are a Drake news, Drake has announced the Boys Meets World Australian and New Zealand tour dates. So Drake is coming to Australia. Hold your horses, guys. He's not coming to Adelaide. Shock horror there. Tickets go on sale on September 15th, so that's next Friday.
Yep.
And he's playing in Auckland, 2 shows in Sydney, Brisbane, and 2 shows in Melbourne. And once again, Adelaide gets bumped out of that.
And these shows are all in November. Is that
These are
correct?
all in November, guys. So if you want to get your tickets, if you're a Drake fan, definitely, pop on next week and grab those tickets.
Brilliant stuff.
And the big news in music this week is definitely the news of the Foo Fighters. The Fooies are coming back to Australia, which is fantastic. We love the Fooies when they come here. They're a great band. I've seen them a couple of times here in Australia, in Adelaide, sorry. Fantastic. So they're doing the Foo Fighters Concrete and Gold Australian tour in 2018. Tickets go on sale public on the 22nd of September.
Yep.
So they go at the beginning. If you're obviously a member of some sort of ticket tech or something like that, I'm sure they'll do pre-sale tickets.
They always do, yeah.
Yeah, so the Adelaide concert is on a Tuesday on the 23rd of January at Cooper Stadium.
Yeah.
So it's a Tuesday night. So they start off in Perth and they run down and finish in Perth as well on Saturday the 20th.
Yeah,
So it's all next year. Definitely get on the Fooies. But just for a little teaser, let's throw you guys a clip of one of their concerts here in Adelaide. There you go, guys. I hope you had a little Fooies tease there for you guys. So definitely get on those, on 22nd of September for your tickets.
Fantastic.
Definitely go check them out.
Brilliant.
That's it, guys.
That's the end of the weekly spread this week,
That's it for the
guys.
weekly spread.
That's all we've had to talk about. Certainly some fascinating news. And we want you guys to comment. We want you guys to engage with us and tell us what you think. How do they do that, Rick?
Guys, all you need to do is get an A4 piece of paper, write it out, get an envelope, write me a letter. No, you don't have to do that. You're not that old. All you guys need to do is just hit that comment button below, write us a comment, hit that like button, and we'd really, really appreciate it if you subscribe as well if you like what you've seen. And please follow us all on our social media sites. They're all up to date with everything, up to date with all the latest news and everything we've got. So
Absolutely.
please follow them. We appreciate it.
All right, guys, and until next week, we'll see you soon.
See ya.